Boxing Unfiltered, Lucas Media. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. So there's been reports that Manny Pacquiao was coming out to box. Now, at first there were rumors, but then it came out confirmed that he will be fighting Mario Barrios on July 19th. Now, Manny Pacquiao, who is 46 years of age, last professional fight was against Ugas August 21st, 2021. Now, this was during the pandemic. Now, he lost a unanimous decision because he was supposed to fight Earl. That was part of the plan, but that didn't happen with him losing to Ugas. And my bad, y'all, if I can hear my dog drinking water. But and this is what's crazy, right? Despite Manny Pacquiao being inactive since 2021, he's currently ranked number 5 by the WBC, which sparked a lot of outrage. Now, he did have an exhibition against Ampo about a year ago. It was terrible. Manny was out of shape. He pretty much should have lost that exhibition, honestly. But Chris Algieri, a couple people expressed that Chris Algieri expressed concerns, polymyalgia, voiced his concerns about it. A future Hall of Famer trainer Robert Garcia voiced about it, especially with his last performance. Again, it felt like Anpo, who was supposed to fight Ryan Garcia, but I don't know what happened with that. It seemed like he was going to take Manny out, but he ended up saving him. Now, this is the catchy part. At Pacquiao's wins, he'd become one of the oldest boxers, one of the oldest world title holders, joining the ranks of George Foreman and Bernard Hopkins. But will it be bad as when Muhammad Ali fought Trevor Berbick on December 11, 1981? I don't know why I keep getting tongue-tied, y'all. Will it be bad like that where Ali had no business being in the ring? Now, Ali was a whole lot younger than Manny Pacquiao was at this age, but, you know, he had no business being in the ring. Now, Teddy Atlas, I just watched his podcast, talked about how people are outraged, but what Suleiman, he has no choice, right? With Manny Pacquiao being one of the faces of boxing, one of the greatest fighters of all time, they have no choice but to give him that type of ranking. And let me give my honest opinion on all of this, right? Let's just start out with this. Manny Pacquiao has no reason to be back in the sport of boxing. Yes, fighters have came back. Yes, John L. Sullivan, Joe Louis, Ali done it multiple. Sugar Ray Leonard did it multiple times. The only ones off the top of my head that didn't come back was Marvin Hagler, because he was pissed off when he lost against Leonard. And Rocky Marciano, he was like, I'm good. He's definitely had fights in him. And he had a couple of fights for, like, I think he said 1.2 million, but he turned it down. And mind you, this is in 1959. But most fighters end up coming back, right? And it's always a disaster historically. But when it comes to like a Manny Pacquiao, right? How in the world does he has a loss? He takes off pretty much 4 years, and he comes back after a loss and gets ranked number 5. And the WBC, they sanction this fight, right? You probably wonder why, Lucas. Well, because they want them sanctioning fees. That's what it's about. Don't nobody give a damn about Manny Pacquiao. These networks and all of that. No, everybody, when Manny Pacquiao gets in the ring or Floyd Mayweather gets in the ring, they put butts in the seats. So they'll come up and make up this excuse. And again, how can a guy come off of a 4-year loss, basically, and become an immediate title contender? And somehow, you know, let's just say he goes in there and he wins. Now he the champion, but then he going to be playing games at 147 pounds because, Boots is up there. Boots is a WBA IBF champion. Brian Norman Jr., who's managed by Mr. Jay Prince, is the WBO champion. And Mario Barrios is the WBC champion. So let's just say Manny Pacquiao goes in there and he beats Mario Barrios. Is he going to fight Boots to be a 3-belt holder, or Brian Norman Jr.? Are they camps going to let that happen? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen. So what would happen if Manny Pacquiao get a belt and he kind of just floating around, and then you're going to see Boots them trying to fight him to get a payday. But just like how Pacquiao didn't fight Crawford, he's not going to fight Boots or Brian Norman Jr., in my opinion. And it's just going to be another free-for-all. And this is one of the reasons why boxing, you know, why people are pushing for some type of central control. Because when you think about the NFL, right, Tom Brady, 7-time Super Bowl champion, they moved on from him. The NFL don't want Tom Brady back. The NFL they really don't even want Aaron Rodgers in there anymore. However, when it comes to boxing, it's like we don't know, the sport doesn't know how to move on. You got young talent, right? There should be no reason why a 40-something-year-old Manny Pacquiao is fighting for a title. Did Bernard Hopkins do it? Yes, but Bernard he was always in supreme shape. He kind of started slightly older because he got out of jail. I think his first professional bout when he was about 23 years old. And like I said, he's done a great job with just keeping himself in shape. Even him at 60. I just watched the interview with him and Andre Ward. You would think Bernard was in his mid-40s. Manny Pacquiao, like I said, when you saw him go up against Ampo, you could tell he ain't been in the ring. And it doesn't make no sense because Manny Pacquiao is a former senator, something that's way better than boxing for your own country. And we know in the Philippines, the money stretches way longer. So what is the reason for you to come back? Now, some people say, oh, he just wants to fight. No, historically, all these fighters have spent more money than what they made. Yes, Manny Pacquiao's paid at least $300 million, but you know, if you got an entourage and mansions and private jets and women and everything else you can think of, that money can run out pretty quickly. He's won every belt, you know, like at least when George Foreman came back, at least he was being moved by God. You know what I'm saying? He was being moved. He still had that punch in him. He was in pretty decent shape. Like I said, you saw old, slow Manny Pacquiao out there against Ampo, man. It was really hard to watch that exhibition. Like I almost turned it off, you know, but I don't know. I don't understand it. In the WBC, like I said, they want to get their name out there. If you notice, even when it comes to the video game, Undisputed, they got a regular version, a WBC version, and yes, I got the deluxe version. But just overall, you know, they just want to throw their name on it. You know, even in Creed, if you watch Creed, you see they threw the WBC belt on there. But you would think that people would step in and say, nah, man, nah, man, you can't be fighting no more, man. You 46 years old, you keep retiring, and we saw how you did your last performance. But I just want to get my quick thoughts about it. Do y'all care? Do y'all think Manny Pacquiao should stay retired? Do y'all think that it was unfair that he was able to skip ahead? I've always said boxing is 90% business, 10% the actual fight. So maybe, you know, the business side is involved. Let me know what y'all think.